Hey everybody, Graham here. So there's a very bizarre situation unfolding in Florida. And when you say something's bizarre for Florida, it's kind of serious. So there's this couple called The Hales, and they run a very popular YouTube channel called What the Hales. And they have someone that is stalking them, essentially. So the Hales bought a piece of property in Florida. They had been in Ohio, and I believe they still have a place in Ohio, but they have this place in Florida. And these people who were like fans of theirs or something followed them to Florida, bought a piece of property directly across the street, and have started harassing them, doing things like putting up derogatory signs. And the Hales went to court to get a restraining order, and for whatever reason, they were denied one in Florida. So they went to Ohio and got one. And because of the full faith and credit clause in the Constitution, Florida should be obligated to enforce that. So they went and tried to get it enforced, and they refused to enforce the restraining order. So then they brought a suit, and the couple came, the stalker people came back with, I guess, a countersuit of their own or something like that. I'm not really sure about the details of the legal part. But the upshot is that the judge has been extraordinarily punitive towards the Hales and has given them an order that they can't put anything about this on their YouTube channel, and they can't have guns or be around people with guns, so they can't hire security, and restrain them from using parts of their own property as well. So, there's some pretty big constitutional issues. So they made 3 separate motions for this judge to recuse himself, and he won't. And I'm not sure what what recourse they have at this point. I believe there's still something they can do called a freeze, but again, I'm not clear on the details about this. Now, the reason that I'm talking about this is basically because, well, a lot of the, not a lot, but a few of the channels that I follow have been talking about it. Most in particular, the DUI guy, Larry Foreman. He's talked a lot about it. Now, my issue with Larry, like a lot of people that I follow, is that he doesn't like to do videos. He likes to do live streams. And his live streams can run 2 or 3 hours. So, I mean, I try to get through them, but because they're so long, even if I increase the speed of the video to the point where it sounds like Larry's a chipmunk and, I can barely understand it, but because they're so long, I do kind of have to do other things while I'm listening to it. And so like the one little piece of information that I'm trying to get, a lot of times I can't get. So that is why I'm kind of hazy on the legal details, but the story is just bizarre. Anyway, so Larry's kind of going through all of this and going, okay, well, all right, he's violated their First Amendment rights. He's violated their Second Amendment rights. He's violated their Fourth Amendment rights. He's violated their Fifth Amendment rights. And I think following on Larry, a couple of other channels have gotten involved, such as That Umbrella Guy and Rabbit. Down the Rabbit Hole News, who is fast becoming one of my favorite channels. I started watching her because she's been covering the Scientology stuff, but she's just really interesting generally. So I'll watch her a lot. She does a lot of interviews, which is interesting. So she started kind of reporting on it. Tug's been reporting on it. Larry's reporting on it. And I think I've seen mentions of it on one or two other channels. As Christopher Boozy learned, it's not generally a good idea to piss off lawyers. And I think that, and someone kind of made this personal to Larry by calling his office and saying that he was going to file a bar complaint. Now, I don't think the bar is going to have anything to say about what Larry says on his YouTube channel. But, so yeah, this judge is, and since I mentioned Scientology, there was also a situation out in LA where the police came with a really disproportionate response against some of the protesters. Now, I don't think they actually arrested anybody, but like there were helicopters and lots of cars and, you know, all kinds of stuff. So it just seems like there's an awful lot of justice system corruption going on right now that really needs to be addressed. But this judge in Florida, I don't know what you do when you have a judge that's just outright not doing things the way he should be doing them. And this judge, I mean, really needs to be taken off the bench. And Rabbit went through some of his reviews. I guess there is a site that's sort of Yelp for judges. And she went through some of his reviews. And the Hales are not the only people with problems with this guy. And he's got reviews on there that are very complimentary towards him, which I would imagine are the people that he kind of takes a shine to. And then he's got, then there are like lots of other reviews that are along the lines of what the Hales have been saying. And people are saying, this is a very old boy network kind of thing going on, that, the town in Florida that they're in, the population is like 100. Everybody knows everybody, and the judge is probably related to half the people in the town. So those sorts of places can fly under the radar a little bit more than, big city like New York or LA. But one of the great things about new media like YouTube and independent journalism like what Rabbit does and what Larry does and what Tug does is that you can do it from anywhere. All you need to be a journalist in this day and age is curiosity and a smartphone. And little places like Otter Creek, Florida are not going to be hidden away like that too much longer. As long as there's someone who can show up with a phone and do their thing, journalism can happen. And what we're seeing right now, I think, is sort of the Streisand effect writ large, because you have this judge that nobody had ever heard of prior to last week, unless you were, I guess, really following the Hales. And he's trying to keep a lid on what's going on in his courtroom by trying to gag the Hales. And in doing so, he has made himself famous. And I think he's just going to make himself more and more and more famous until something happens. Now, what that something is, I have absolutely no idea. But I just wanted to bring your attention to this. Now, if you want actual, real information about this, I would say, number 1, go to Larry. Number 2, go to Rabbit. Number 3, go to Tug. And between those 3, you'll get what's known. Oh, and also the Hales. Their channel is called What the Hales. And I'll link all of these channels in the description. But I just really wanted to get as many eyes on this as possible. And particularly those of you in like the Scientology community, because what's going on here very much parallels what's going on in LA with the police. And we are long past the time in this country where public officials can operate any old way they want in the darkness, because there is no darkness anymore. There are only people with smartphones. So go check this stuff out. So there it is. I hope you're all having a good day. I am enjoying my backyard and basement flooding today, which is, yeah, lots of fun. But hope you're all having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Graham out. Bye.